Point number 3, Chris, from teams on the upswing to a team that's really struggled this year. What is wrong with West Ham United?
West Ham a strange one, aren't they? Well, they don't half bounce around, don't they, West Ham? They have a bad season, a good season last year, qualified for the Europa Conference League. They're still in that. They won the group. So all's well there. All's great there in the European competition. They just can't get it together in the league this year, and it's a strange one. And I think it's that confidence thing again that I keep talking about. Anyway, it's strange. They've got goal scorers: Bowen, Antonio, Rice is great, shoring up the back. They could do is strengthening at the back in the back positions probably. It's just not, the ball's not going in the net again for them, is it? And I don't know if Moyes he seems to be, I don't know if lacking ideas is the right way to put it, or stale. But it's just not happening for them. But West Ham, they had the chance, I think, and what's gone wrong this year, they had the chance last year when they finished the European place. Then they didn't really add to the squad. They didn't add to the team, and that was the time they could do it. They had something to play for. They could have really built and hammered home their sort of advantage with the rest of the league, or with the rest of the league that they're fighting against now. And they didn't do so much in the transfer market. So their ambition, they didn't seem to be ambitious. The owners didn't seem to be ambitious. And they're paying for it this year. And maybe having the European League as well as the Premier League, that's stretching them thin.
And the issue seems to be goals, right? With them, 19 goals in 23 matches for West Ham so far on the season in the Premier League. And part of it's Mikel Antonio's old. You know what I mean? Like he's 30 for Premier League sake, standards. He's 32 years old. You bring in Danny Ings, and Danny Ings has been injured, right? He's got injured in his debut, and he's been injured for the most part. He got to play 20 minutes a couple weeks ago, and that's he just hasn't played a ton. So that is part of it, because I did think bringing Danny Ings in was going to clear up some of the goal issues that they have. Kurt Zuma is their highest paid player. I'd say I bring up a Lakers guard instead of a center half for West Ham, but he's their highest paid player, and he's been injured as well. So they've dealt with injuries. But part of this isn't this how it normally goes with David Moyes, right? Where you get some overachieving and you get the high highs, but when the lows come in, they go really low, and then someone has to move on from David Moyes. But fantastic manager. I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but that was my initial thought when I looked at this team as well. There's David Moyes again. But they've dealt with a ton of injuries, especially in scoring from their top scoring players. Skamaka is back. So he's back, and that's going to help. But right now, if you look at it, their top two goal scorers have 4 goals and 3 goals. Right? Bowen's their top goal scorer at 4 goals on the season. They just need more scoring from their forwards, and maybe those forwards getting healthy and coming back. We've talked about a lot of teams that how are they going to survive their injuries that they have right now. West Ham could be a team on the come up, because the guys that have been injured for most of the season, they're all coming back to the pitch right now, and it's just a matter of getting them fit enough and healthy enough to be able to play a full 90 minutes.
Yeah, I think their problems are just, fortunately for them, there's probably 6 teams around them with the same problem, so no one's getting detached at the bottom. Otherwise, they would be right in it. But like we mentioned on this show over the last few weeks, is the goal scorers. They just don't seem to be around, and so. Danny Ings, you mentioned him. I really like Danny Ings, and him coming back. He was unfortunate on his debut. I mean, how many times that happened? You'd get injured on your debut, but so he's coming back. He could bail them out if he has a run from now till the end of the season. He could really bail them out. He's the type of guy. Like I say, I really rate him, and so I think West Ham are going to be okay. I think they've got enough. I think they'll just squeak it and they'll just survive it again. But yeah. Maybe the Conference League and a bit of success in the Conference League will be a good distraction, as they say, and it'll give them a bit of confidence in Europe. So, yeah, but they didn't build, and for me, that was the problem. That's why they're where they are now, because when they had the chance and finished in a good spot last year, they didn't invest in the team, and they find themselves struggling again.
I do agree with you, though, that I think they're going to be okay as well. I don't think they're going to be relegated. Part of that is they do have a few really, really quality players that some of the other teams at the bottom of the table don't have. and they're getting healthy at a time where other teams are starting to deal with their injuries. And I think that's going to be something that's beneficial for them as well.